In the shadow of the towering walls of Luskan, where the hustle of trade and the whisper of intrigue blend into a symphony of the city's life, our tale begins. Matthias I, the elf rogue of noble birth, and Griffin, the dwarven bard with a passion for the bagpipes, found themselves sharing a worn bench outside an inn known for its robust ales and raucous brawls. The air was crisp, the sky of canvas of twilight hues, as the two old friends recounted tales of their youth in Mellington, their laughter mingling with the evening breeze. Their decision to journey to Bryn Shander was one of ambition and curiosity, a path laid out by the desire for adventure and the whisper of destiny. As the night deepened, they noticed a coach preparing for the long journey north, its lanterns casting a warm glow on the cobblestones. The coach, bound for the icy reaches of Icewind Dale, promised not just a passage through the frozen lands, but an escape from the confines of their past lives. Matthias, with his rogue's instinct, sensed opportunity, a chance for exploits and tales worth the telling. Griffin, with his love for stories and music, yearned to witness the majesty of the Dale and compose ballads of their adventures. Their decision was swift, their spirits alight with the prospect of the journey that lay ahead. As they approached the coach, the night air carried the sound of a sorcerer's incantation, a melody that spoke of mystery and untold power. Turning towards the source, they beheld a figure that would change the course of their journey. Balcortu, the half-elf sorcerer. Balcortu stood at a distance, his eyes reflecting the lantern light with an otherworldly glimmer. He was in the midst of a quiet but intense negotiation with the coach driver, his voice smooth and convincing. Matthias and Griffin, drawn by his commanding presence, approached cautiously, their curiosity piqued. As they drew nearer, the conversation ceased, and Balcortu turned his attention to the pair. His gaze lingered on Griffin's bagpipes, a flicker of interest crossing his face. In that moment, a silent acknowledgement was made. Here were fellow travellers, each seeking something beyond the mundane confines of their existence. Introductions were brief but warm. Balcortu revealed his destination to be the same as theirs, the frozen expanse of Icewind Dale. The reasons for his journey remained shrouded, much like the mysteries of his sorcery, but his intent to explore what the untamed wilderness was clear. Sensing a shared destiny, the trio decided to join forces. Balcortu's quest for power and knowledge, Matthias's desire for adventure and renown, and Griffin's pursuit of inspiration for his music found common ground. As the coach prepared to depart, a sense of anticipation filled the air. But as fate would have it, the company was not yet complete. The clatter of a hurried footsteps approached, and into the circle of lantern light stepped a figure who would add both muscle and mystery to the journey. Bumblefoot, the human barbarian. Bumblefoot emerged from the shadows like a force of nature, his imposing figure momentarily silhouetting against the lantern glow. His stride was purposeful, each step resonating with the determination of a man on a mission. The ragged edges of his clothes and the wildness in his eyes spoke of a life far removed from the comforts of the city. As he approached the coach, Bumblefoot's gaze swept over the assembled group, a spark of recognition igniting in his eyes at the sight of the diverse trio. Matthias, Griffin, and Balcortu watched warily, sensing the raw power that emanated from this new figure. Without preamble, Bumblefoot announced his intention to journey to Bryn Shander, his voice carrying the gruffness of the streets and the clarity of his purpose. His story, though untold, was etched into the lines of his face and the stance he held. He sought something in Icewind Dale, a quest deeply personal and yet unspoken. The group sensed the strength and resolve Bumblefoot would bring to their party. His skills, honed in the unforgiving life of the slums, promised a resilience that would serve them well in the challenges ahead. With a mutual nod, they welcomed him into their fellowship. As the coach creaked into motion, the group settled into their seats, the rumble of the wheels a harbinger of the journey to come. They were strangers bound by a shared destination, each with their own hopes and fears, unknowingly stepping into a saga that would test their mettle and forge bonds that would define their fates. Little did they know, their circle was soon to be completed with the arrival of Zenthor Stormguard, whose quest for justice and hope would intertwine with their own in the icy heart of Icewind Dale. As the first rays of dawn caressed the landscape, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink, the coach rattled into a sleepy hamlet for a brief respite. The air was crisp, filled with the promise of a new day. The travellers, each lost in their thoughts, stepped out to stretch their legs and breathe in the fresh morning air. Matthias I, Griffin, Balcortu and Bumblefoot stood by the coach, their bond already strengthening through the shared tales and laughter. The hamlet was just stirring to life, with the villagers beginning their daily chores, the scene a peaceful contrast to the adventures that lay ahead. Their attention was drawn to the figure of Zenthor Stormguard, the human paladin emerging from a humble inn. With his noble demeanour and air of purpose, Zenthor approached the group, his eyes reflecting a deep commitment to justice and hope. He spoke of his quest to bring light to the darkened lands of Icewind Dale, a mission that resonated with the group's own aspirations. The decision to join forces came naturally. Zenthor's dedication to protecting the innocent and his vow to restore hope were qualities that the group admired and respected. As they prepared to continue their journey, the fellowship felt a sense of completeness, unaware that fate had one more companion in store for them. Finn Stonesprig, whose arrival would add yet another layer to their unfolding story. As the group readied themselves to depart, a lone figure approached them from the direction of the forest that bordered the hamlet. His appearance was striking, a human with a worn face marked by the trials of life, his brown hair messy and pushed back behind his ears. This was Finn Stonesprig, the druid, whose eyes held a depth of wisdom and a hint of sorrow. Finn paused a short distance from the coach, observing the group with cautious curiosity. His presence was that of a man who had walked in solitude, yet carried an aura of quiet strength. The scars and burns on his hands and arms, along with the marks of shackles on his neck, spoke of a past filled with hardship and struggle. Matthias, Griffin, Balcortu, Bumblefoot and Zenthor watched him approach, sensing the resilience and the connection to nature that emanated from him. Finn introduced himself, his voice soft yet firm, sharing his intention to travel northward, drawn by the call of the wild and a need to find balance in a world that had shown him its harshest face. His tale of survival and escape from giants captivated the group. Finn's quest to protect the innocent and ensure no one else had suffered as he had struck a chord with each of them. They recognized a kindred spirit, a fellow wanderer seeking redemption and a place in the world. The decision to welcome Finn into their fellowship was unanimous. His knowledge of nature, his druidic abilities, and his compelling story added a new dimension to their journey. With Finn among them, their fellowship was now complete, a tapestry of destinies interwoven, ready to face the challenges of Icewind Dale together. As the coach resumed its journey north, the group shared a sense of anticipation and camaraderie. They were no longer mere travellers. They were a fellowship bound by shared purpose and a promise of adventures that would test their courage, forge their bonds, and define their legacies. The aged coach, drawn by sturdy horses, continued its relentless journey through the spine of the world. Fellowship inside was a tapestry of anticipation and resolve, each member lost in their thoughts as they beheld the grandeur of the frozen peaks and the depths of the shadowed valleys. The skies above were a canvas of perpetual twilight, the auroras weaving a dance of haunting beauty, casting an ethereal glow over the ice-encrusted wilderness. In their midst was an enigmatic wizard, cloaked in shadows and mystery. He watched the passing scenery with eyes that had held the depths of ancient tomes. As they drew nearer to Bryn Shander, now just half a mile away, he spoke, his voice a soft echo that seemed to blend seamlessly with the whispering winds outside. "In the heart of Icewind Dale," he murmured, "lies a world shrouded in the echoes of a forgotten era, where the night stretches its cold fingers long and unyielding." His eyes, deep pools of knowledge, flickered briefly over his fellow travellers. Here, the bravest of hearts are tested, and the deepest of secrets lie nestled beneath the frost. His words hung in the air, a riddle wrapped in the mysteries of the frozen land they approached. "In the silence of the snow, listen for the whispers of the ancient," he continued, his voice barely more than a breath. "For in these lands, where darkness reigns, the faintest whispers carry the weight of old magic and untold stories." The fellowship absorbed his cryptic words, each contemplating their meanings and the role they might play in an unfolding saga of Icewind Dale. Outside, the landscape rushed by in a blur of whites and greys, the world seemingly holding its breath in anticipation of their arrival. As the coach moved steadily onwards, the gates of Bryn Shander loomed ahead, beacon in the wilderness, promising both refuge and the start of their epic tale. Inside the coach, the air was thick with the promise of adventure, the fellowship poised on the brink of a journey that would intertwine their fates with the legends whispered in the icy winds of the Dale.